Hi, my name is Lauren. If you don't know who I am, over the years I've had a lot of people ask me about my garden, so I thought I would make YouTube videos. So this is my first video, and today I'm going to share what I've started from seed in my backyard garden. I live in Zone 9B, Southwest Florida, and I have two groups of seeds. The first group is going to be what I directly sowed into the ground, and the second group that I'm going to share is what I've sown into seed trays or seed cells. So the first thing that I've planted are Chicago pickling cucumbers. I really like watermelons. Right now I have sugar babies outside that are growing. They've been there for a while, but I planted these new varieties. This one is a Georgia rattlesnake watermelon, and they get really large, and they're just like a normal watermelon, just really big. The next variety of watermelon I planted are Clay County yellow meat watermelons, and this is going to be the first time I'm doing like a non-traditional watermelon. It has a yellowy orange meat inside, and I think the rind is really pretty. It's a light green, so it's different. The next seed variety that I'm growing, I'm really excited about. It's called a Kajari melon. I've been wanting these for a really long time, and they've always been sold out. And it's supposed to be a flavor kind of between a honeydew and a cantaloupe, and they're just really pretty. I put these on my trellis outside, and I'm hoping that they'll hang down from my trellis and just look really pretty. They only get 3 to 4 pounds, so yeah, I'm excited about those. I also planted corn. It's a golden bantam 12-row corn is what I've used. I planted a whole pack, and I also planted some of a silver queen white corn because I ran out of this and I had more space. So I did that. I also planted a Hishiko bunching onion. I'm not sure if it's too hot here for these, but we will find out. I've been wanting an onion, so. This is another variety that I'm growing. It's a black carrot, and if you cut it open, it's purple, but I'm really excited about these. Usually I would plant carrots in the fall around November here in Florida, October, November, but these are supposed to perform really well in extreme heat and hot climates. So it's considered a tropical carrot, so I wanted to plant some in March to see how well they do. So that's cool. And they're not like a big fat carrot, they're like a long skinny carrot. They're thinner, and on the outside they look black. So another thing that we're growing is just a mix of radishes. This is the Easter basket mix from Baker Creek. My kids like these, and we just roast them instead of eating them in salads because they don't like the peppery. When you roast them, it takes that flavor out, and they just taste like potatoes. And these are fun because you can just harvest them within 30 to 40 days. Most varieties are anyway, and they're colorful, and my kids love them. They're good for a kid's garden, I guess. So these are a yard-long bean. These ones are Thai purple potted yard-long, and these do well in hotter climates also. And I planted these on my trellis as well. So the next variety I'm excited about is a lima bean. It's a Christmas pole variety, and these are really pretty. I planted these last year also, and I really neglected them, and they still grew. I got a lot of seed from them. They are just, you know, really, really pretty beans. They're like a cream color with like a burgundy splash. Super pretty, and they grow well in the heat also. The next variety that I planted is a Jacoby little pumpkin. These are really cute little pumpkins for kids. You see them usually around Thanksgiving time. They're good decorations, and you can also bake them. And I thought these would be fun for my kids to harvest because they're so small. I actually have those on a trellis too. So the next thing I planted are sunflowers. I planted a few different varieties. A couple of them I don't have the packs for. I planted Mammoth, I planted a red color variety, and I also planted Lemon Queen sunflowers. I also planted these Goldie Honey Bear sunflowers, which my husband actually bought me because I call him Honey Bear. So that's really cute. And they're really like fluffy sunflowers. They're not just like the normal big petals. They're like lots of little petals and it looks fluffy, like a honey bear. So that's really cute. So the next variety that I'm planting is a squash. I always have a really hard time with squash. The bugs always get them. It's usually the little inchworms or caterpillars. We also get squash bugs here, but normally for me it's the caterpillars that get mine. So I heard this variety is more resistant to bugs. It's called a Zucchino rampicante squash, and it's a really long vine. You can grow it. I have mine going on a cattle panel, but you can grow it just on the ground too if you want. And you harvest them when they're small. They're supposed to taste like zucchini, like just like a substitution for zucchini. And if you let them you can let them go and let them get really, really big. And if you do that, they turn more like a winter squash for storage, like a butternut or an acorn type of squash. So that's pretty cool. I planted this in between my corn. So I have two groups of this. It's called the Illinois squash, also known as a white crookneck squash. And these are a winter squash, like for storage. So I'm looking forward to trying these out and seeing if we like them. They're supposed to be almost like a pumpkin, and I love pumpkins, which you probably already know, but so that's pretty cool. And they're supposed to do well in the South also. So that's everything I planted directly in the ground, and now I'm going to share with you what I planted in my seed trays. So I planted Swiss chard, and I'm not really sure if it's out of season or not. It's supposed to be a heat tolerant green, so I think it might be a little late, but we'll see. I planted just like a handful of them, like 5 or 6, so we'll see how those do. And so now I'm going to talk about peppers. So I do have some regular green jalapenos out there right now that I bought starts from like Home Depot or Walmart or something, but these are what I planted from seed. I started some poblano peppers, which are a hotter pepper, but they're not super hot. They're like less hot than a jalapeno, so I really like to cook with them. They have a really great flavor. I planted some brown jalapeno peppers. I was gonna make jalapeno poppers, but I planted the peppers, and the fruits on these are supposed to get up to 6 inches long. And I think they're really pretty with like a burgundy brown color. And then I planted violet sparkle peppers, and these are just really cool little purple peppers, really pretty. They're a violet pepper with yellow streaking, and then when they ripen they turn red, and these are also a sweet pepper. So this next pepper, I can't even pronounce the name, but I just call them the Sizantes pepper. If you want to look it up, screenshot that, and there you go. But they're really cool. They're a sweet pepper, they're thick-walled, just kind of like a bell pepper, and they're shaped kind of like pumpkins. So I love yellow sweet peppers, and I'm really looking forward to trying these. So now I'm going to talk about tomatoes. So I love growing tomatoes. These tomatoes are called Lucid Gem tomatoes, and they're really pretty. They're supposed to do well in hotter climates. So I'm looking forward to seeing if these will produce well into the summer. I also planted Blue Beauty tomatoes. These ones are just really pretty. I really like different plants. These have like a blackish blue shoulder on them, and they're a slicer. I also planted the Mortgage Lifter tomato, which actually got its name because the guy who named them, he actually paid off his mortgage by selling these tomatoes, and they're really prolific. So I'm looking forward to those. I planted yellow pear tomatoes, and these are just like a small variety. And my kids love little varieties that they can just, like cherries and these little pear ones that they can just pop in their mouth in the garden. They really like those, so I'm planting those for the kids. So I also planted these Hungarian heart tomatoes, and I think these are really, really pretty. They're dark pink, pinkish red, I guess. So I'm looking forward to seeing these. I bet they're going to be super pretty. They're different. I'm also planting an orange icicle tomato, which looks almost like a Roma to me, because it's more elongated. But I wanted a different color one out there because those are always fun. I also planted a purple Russian tomato. This one doesn't have a picture, but it's just a free packet that came with my order. But I'm looking forward to growing these. I also planted Brad's Atomic grape tomatoes, and these are really different. I've never grown these before. I've heard conflicting views on the taste. Some people say they're really good, other people say they don't really have much flavor, so I guess we'll just find out. Thought they'd be fun and just pretty when you harvest them, I guess. So now I'm going to talk about the herbs and flowers that I planted. So the first one is a lemon bee balm, which I've never grown before, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure the bees will love the flowers, and I might try to make a tea out of it and see how that goes with the lemon flavor. I don't know. We'll see. I also planted oregano, which is upside down because I opened them upside down. I planted chives, also upside down. I planted lemon basil. I planted parsley, which I always plant for the butterflies because swallowtails really like to lay their eggs on the parsley. I don't really cook with it much, but we love to see the butterflies. I also planted regular sweet basil. I planted dill. Okay, so for flowers, I planted marigolds, and these are just like an orange marigold, just a plain orange marigold. I really like these because they repel pests in your garden, and last year when I grew these, they were like the biggest marigold plants I've ever seen in my life. They were just huge, like they were falling over. They were so big. Like the bush, it was like a bush, a shrub. It wasn't really like a little flower. So I also planted these Indian blanket flowers, which do well here in Florida, and they're really pretty. I plant mostly the flowers just for the insects and the butterflies and the birds, the sunflowers for the birds. So I also planted this striped zinnia, candy cane mix zinnia. Those are really pretty. I planted polar bear zinnias. And I also planted Orange King calendula, which I'm not sure if, I think it might be too hot for this, but I planted it anyway. I've been drying the petals to make stuff out of, so I'm hoping that I'll get some more plants because they're just so pretty. And when you dry these flowers, like the marigolds will turn brown, but these keep their color, so they're really pretty and like soaps and salves and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure that's it. Oh, I also planted a Seminole pumpkin seed, which is directly sowed into the ground, and that is great for Florida also because it's native. The Seminole Indians used to grow it, and it just grows wild out in the lands, which is pretty cool. So I think that's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else. I might have missed, oh, I did miss another one. I also planted Hale's Best Cantaloupe is the variety. That's also from rareseeds.com. And yeah, so I'm glad I got to share with you. And if you guys have any questions or anything like that, I'm hoping to do more videos. So give it a like and share, it'd be great. Thanks.